Yes,
Hello, hi, my name is Sidra and I'm one of the trainers from English Yaari. So, firstly, how are you?
I'm pretty well. How are you, ma'am?
I'm also doing well. All right, so since we are meeting for the very first time, would you like to please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Ishu Goel, and I am from Uttar Pradesh, Ghaziabad. I am an active learner. I'm pursuing my Masters of Education. And if I talk about my hobbies, so dancing, painting, reading, exploring new places, and writing, and few
Mm-hmm.
more. So that's
Okay,
all about.
all right, that's wonderful. Anything you would like to add up?
No.
Okay, the topic that is assigned for today's session is books versus television. We're comfortable discussing about this topic, or do you have something else in mind?
Yes, ma'am, I'm very much comfortable. But before that, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So, my name is Sidra, and I have completed my graduation in physics. And after that, my interest shifted towards business, learning the fundamentals of business. So, I opted for MBA, which I completed as well. Then, after that, I'm interacting with working professionals. So, help them to improve their confidence and to their intonation as well. So, yeah, this is what I really enjoy, and that's what I'm pursuing at the moment.
Okay. Ma'am, could you please give me few tips to enhance my fluency in English?
Okay, so we can just discuss about one of the topic, and then I'll be presenting a short feedback based on my understanding that what I felt while communicating with you. So that's how we'll go about. So small discussion prior to that. So let's just go about with it.
Okay, okay, sure.
Okay, so this is quite an interesting topic, which is books versus television. So, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you just hear about this versus between a book and a television? So, what do you prefer if someone is going to ask you, which is your choice?
Um, both are equally important for me, but still I
Mhm.
would choose a book over television
Okay.
because last month in February when it was my birthday, so my friend gifted me a book and it was a surprise gift for me, so I was so happy getting that book. So I love reading books, and I am a person who can sit in my own company in library for for hours, and I love to read books. The feeling of touching the hard copy of the
Mhm.
books, I don't like e-books because we
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
feel the texture, we cannot read it, so the
Paperback.
every
Yeah.
yes, every single thing I just love about books, and yes.
So I'm quite intrigued when you mentioned that you are an avid reader and you really like reading books. So which is that one of your favorite book from any genre, whether it is fiction, non-fiction, that you would like to recommend to other people as well? So yeah, is it? So how would you like to describe the summary of that book and why did you like that book?
Okay, so I recently ordered in February itself. It is in Hindi. I ordered the Hindi edition of that book. The name of the book is Tension Free Life.
Okay.
Still I am reading it, and that book is so different from other books. Like it is the first book in India, which the writer and the reader are writing simultaneously together, because
Okay.
what they give is assessments at the end of every chapter. They used to give assessments at the end with how
Mhm.
much happy today you are and what sort of activities you did for the sake of your happiness, and that the book consider many positive things, that how to
Mhm.
be tension free and how to live in today only. Like
Okay.
we either we live in our past, or
Yeah.
either we live worrying about
Future.
our future.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but this book told us that we have to live in our today, in our present.
So this book
So
teaches us, right?
It's an amazing book, and they also this book also offers a certificate at the end of it, which we can
Oh,
cut
that's
it out
wonderful.
and
Yeah.
yes, get laminated it. So that's why it is the best book I have read in till now.
Okay. All right. So you are going great. Just a small addition over here. I have read it so far. This is the best book that I've read so far. So read. So for past tense, we use it in the pronunciation read. All right. So what do you think? How do books benefit us in our daily lifestyle? How are they going to make any kind of traction in our productivity or any enhancement in our lifestyle? So does actually it put some impression on it? What do you think about it?
Yes, ma'am, definitely books do put a lot of impression in our daily life. Like
Mhm.
I used to read a lot of storybooks in my 10th 12th class in library whenever I go to library. So
Okay.
those stories or any poem that have deep impression in my life,
Yeah.
I felt so connected, like that I should not, like I learned from those mistakes of the characters, the
Yeah.
characters in the which were mentioned in those stories, and I
Yeah.
learned from, like that I will never do or repeat
The
those
same things
mistakes in my
again.
life.
Yeah.
Yes,
So maybe you can say
and
that we live the lives of character while we are reading or going through a book and witness what is happening in their lives. So yeah. All right.
yes, ma'am.
So far we had this small conversation. I would say that you have good command over the language, and that's really nice. But there are some amendments that we can make to be a much better speaker, like moving from intermediate to advanced level. Uh, so the very first thing is intonation. So intonation is like modulating our voice from time to time, so as we can sound a bit more enthusiastic and energetic when we are talking to people. That's when cohesion also comes, when we just say certain sentences by putting an impression. I really like reading books, or at the moment I'm pursuing my masters. So this is my style of doing it. You can have your own way of picking it, like some impressions on certain things. For example, let's suppose you're talking about your experience. So I have around 2 years of experience in this field. So a bit of emphasis on two, maybe it's just going to be fruitful to the ears of person who is listening to you. So modulating our voice from time to time, that's something is going to be a great addition. And the next thing that I felt is like cohesion. So a bit of cohesion we need to add up, like so that it feels like that we are going in a storytelling manner, whatever topic we are talking about. So step by step, just going ahead. So they say that whenever we are talking about any topic, we can always divide it in three parts, which is introduction, body, and conclusion. So any topic that is being allotted to you, just try dividing it, just giving people an understanding what actually it's all about. That's introduction. And in body, it's completely up to you whether you want to give an example or you want to just give some statistics or anything, just an elongation of the part that you want to share with people. And lastly, conclusion. It's really important to give people in a nutshell the idea. So I thought that conclusion was missing from most of the parts. For example, that's all I think about reading books, or some when it comes to our introduction as well. That's all about me and my experience so far. Thank you. Or now I would like to know something about you. So that's how we can use a sentence. And any topic, we can also use sentence starters as well, which are really validated for any topic that is being assigned. So to begin with, if I'm asking your suggestion, you can use sentences like "as far as I'm concerned" or "according to my perspective." So this is going to give you a head start, which is it, to any communication. I didn't felt much of the grammatical errors. Where I felt, I tried correcting it. So you don't make grammatical errors. That's good. But the thing is, a bit of tense error was there, which I corrected here in the middle as well. And the next thing I felt is that you were a bit hesitant. So you have so much of knowledge to impart, and you are just an emerging individual who is studying. So just be not be that hesitant, and we can be a bit more confident, and that is going to come with consistent approach towards the language. So I would highly recommend to dedicate 10 minutes of your day to reading loudly as we are communicating at the moment. So this is going to help you in certain other things. I would like to share my screen just to add few more inputs that why I think reading loudly is going to add up in certain scenarios. Just give me a moment. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you please go ahead?
Okay. So I have to read it.
The one paragraph, initial
Okay.
paragraph.
So then, you want a story, and I will tell you one. But just the one. Don't either of you ask me for more. It's late, and we have a long day of travel ahead of us. Pari, you and I. You will need your sleep tonight. And you too, Abdullah. I am counting on you, boy, while your sister and I are away. So is your mother. Now,
Mhm.
one story, then listen, both of you. Listen well and don't interrupt.
Okay, that's fine. So I must say that you very well followed the concept of taking pauses at relevant places, and that's the same pattern we should follow while we are communicating as well. So we should be mindful of where we can use comma. So, for example, when we are talking about our hobbies, so I like watching movies, playing basketball, and spending time with my friends. So here there was comma. So we take smaller pauses at comma and longer pauses on full stop, which you evidently followed over here, but it was missing when we were communicating. So that's why I am suggesting reading. And the next part that is going to come here is intonation. You will are going to be well versed with where you can emphasize on certain words and adapt to, with your own style. So for example, you want a story and I'll tell you one, but just the one. So this person is reiterating on the fact that I'll be only telling one story. So we can also put a bit more emphasis from our end, so that who is listening to us can explain, can understand it in a much better way. So that's when intonation comes here, and this is a style that we originally have when we just are imparting our knowledge to people. So that's something I would like to say. And apparently when you will dedicate some time of your day to reading loudly, like in a similar tone as we are talking at the moment, so you will be understanding the art of framing correct sentences. And the one thing that is going to help with this is that you will be comfortable with the language. You won't hesitate whenever you are communicating with any new person. So it happens that whenever we are communicating with someone new, we get intimidated by their presence and we fumble. So it won't happen when we are comfortable and enthusiastic about the prospect of having communication with a person. So just try this, and it's going to be a go a long way with comfort level, pronunciation, and improving lexical resources as well when we are communicating. And it will help you evidently in expanding vocabulary, and I think that's something we need to work on, which is expanding our vocabulary so that we don't feel short of words while we are talking about any topics. So whenever you will be just spending time, so words will automatically come to your mind if you want to express about certain scenarios. So what one exercise is that if you are dedicating one page every day, so you will be coming across different words. What we do is that we leave things on understanding the meaning only. We just have to try framing sentences as to how we can use it in our general language. For example, tonight I'll try to
Ma'am,
complete all of my pending tasks. Yeah, saying
you are
something.
not visible. The screen you shared is only visible. Yes, now.
Yeah, yeah. So it happens when we share the screen, we are not visible. So that's what I was trying to say, that it will help you a lot in expanding vocabulary. And the other thing is, which is going to make you well versed and very comfortable while you are communicating. I can see that you have good command over the language, but there's a little bit discomfort when we are talking about certain topic and feeling short of words. For that, this reading thing is going to help. And one thing, when you get up in the morning, just stand in front of a mirror, or not in front of a mirror, just tell yourself for 1 minute what are you going to do throughout your day, like a to do list. So today, firstly, I'll be completing my pending assignment. Later on, I'll have this, I'll do that. So just try telling yourself in a similar way that we tell other people as well, so become we can become really well versed. And when in evening, you can just try narrating how well your did your day went, and what all activities did you try completing. So that is going to be a great exercise, and the thing is that we need to be consistent with this. That's when we will feel comfortable and communicating with everyone. So that's the small feedback. Yeah, anything you would like to
Thank you.
ask?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what do you want to next do next? Shall we continue with some vocabulary? So I'll give some words. You can tell me any other substitute word coming to your mind and try framing sentences. Will that be okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so let's start from some phrasal verbs related to uh, time. So if I
Time.
say, yes, time expressions. So if I say a while back, so what do you understand by a while back?
A while back, just a few minutes back. The in
Yeah, some
like
time back in past. Yeah. So how would you frame a sentence with this?
okay. I was outside a while back.
Hmm. Okay. I was outside doing my regular chores a while back ago. So we can just add why also in our communication so that it seems to be a bit more meaningful. All right. If I say the next expression, which is ahead of time. So, ahead of time means something you have already done in advance and you are well prepared for that stuff. For example, Martha will be preparing the food for the party ahead of time and will keep in the fridge or freezer, something like that.
Okay.
I'm already ahead of time in completing my assignments, something like that. Yeah. Can you frame a sentence with ahead of time?
Okay. So I am preparing for my exams ahead of time.
Yes. Well ahead of time, ahead of time. Correct. What you said is also correct. All right. In no time. So in no time means something you are or to, you are trying to do very quickly. So I'll try to reach to you in no time as soon as the traffic will clear. So what we have to practice is that we have to try using these things in our general communication as well. That's when they will not stay in our subconscious mind and in our active memory. So that's something maybe on a regular basis we can try practicing, and that's why I was suggested as well that while reading, try framing sentences as to how we can use it in our general language. So for example, this in no time, how are you going to use it just to talk about general scenarios?
I prepare the dinner in no time as the guests have been arrived.
As the guest have already arrived. Okay, as the guest have already arrived. I have prepared the dinner because you've already done and dusted with that task. So I've already prepared the dinner, or I have prepared the dinner before the guest arrived. Before the guest arrive, or after the guest arrived. Okay, that's how we will be saying it.
In no time. Like I have prepared the dinner before the
In
guests
no,
arrived in
yeah, yeah. Maybe we can use either one of them because they have the same meaning. All right. Now, if I say bad, so bad can have certain synonyms. So, in your mind, what are the synonyms coming from bad?
bad. Yes.
Poor,
Awful.
meaning, yeah, awful. So, how can you frame a sentence with awful?
It was it was a awful smell
It
coming
was,
from
an awful smell. So, with vowels, we try using with a e i o u starting. It was an awful smell that was coming from the road or from the nearby home. Or simply, we can also say that an awful smell was coming from my neighbor's home. All right. Now, can also use the word atrocious, bad, which is terrible, poor, appalling. So, something that is not good, we can use these words for describing. So, what do you understand by the word mediocre?
mediocre.
Yeah, so mediocre is something that is very average, isn't it? That's not too good, not too bad, which stays in middle. So if you just don't want to sound really bad in front of people, you can always say that the restaurant has a mediocre service. I don't really enjoy going to them on a regular basis. So something like that.
This one.
Okay. Now the next one is if I say gullible. So gullible is adjective. Like when we use gullible, we are describing someone about their personality. So how will you use gullible in sentence?
Gullible. G U double I double L I B L.
IBLES.
Gullible. Ma'am, I don't get the meaning,
Someone,
please.
yeah, yeah, no problem. So I'm here for that. So someone who is very innocent and they just easily get manipulated by people. So that person is known as gullible. So very innocent person.
Okay. My mother is a very gullible person.
Yeah.
She, yes, ma'am.
She don't understand what is going behind the thoughts of people or behind what people are saying. Something like that. Okay, imposing.
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 Basically to push it.
To like impose something on someone, to just forcefully ask them to do something. So please don't impose your thoughts on me. I am free to make my decisions. So we can try framing in this way, like this particular word.
Imposing. Different marketing companies impose
Hmm.
their products on us by marketing advertisements.
Yeah, using brand strategies or using advertisements like that. Okay, let's talk about memories. So if I say the word memory, so any other word coming to your mind, and we'll be able to frame the sentences with that word talking about memories.
Yes.
So if I have to say that, I usually think about past and have a vivid structure of what happened in my childhood. So vivid means something that is clear and very you remember it properly. It's very clear and detailed. So I have vivid memories of our family trip to the beach 3 years back. So something that you clearly remember. So to describe memories, we also use the word vivid, right? Can't hear you. You're on mute.
Vivid memory. So basically,
Something clear and detailed. So if from your class in 8th, when you were in like 10th standard, and you clearly remember something, so you have vivid memories about your classes when you were in 10th standard. So you clearly remember what used to happen. I have clearly understood about the topic, or I have vividly understood about what happened in my school days, or I have vivid memories of my school days. Vivid here means that you clearly remember, you haven't forgotten even just a part. Can you hear me? Because I can't see you, neither I can hear you. um, if I am audible, I because I can't see you, even I can't hear you as well. You joined from two devices, that's it. Something is visible. Okay,
yes,
all
ma'am.
right. No problem. So we were talking about memories, so we also use the word flashback, uh,
Mm,
right? So if you suddenly remember something, so you have a sudden remembrance of that scenario. So I had a flashback of the movie that we watched 2 years back. So I had a flashback of my childhood when we used to play in our early years. So that is flashback. So I think this is how we need to practice making sentences from these different words, and we will be able to expand our vocabulary. And the short feedback was about being comfortable with the language so that we can have proper expression of our thoughts in front of anyone. And that's going to come with reading. You're already an avid reader, you just have to dedicate 10 minutes of your day to reading loudly. And in for intonation, I have a small suggestion of watching a TED talk by Julian Treasure. So his TED talk name is How to Speak So That People Want to Listen. It's just for 9 minutes. Try giving just watching that, and it's really good. Yeah.
okay. So, ma'am, we can make a sentence like I have a vivid flashback of
No, no,
of
no. I I have a vivid. A flashback is something that you suddenly remember. So you cannot use vivid and flashback together. So you can say that I have a vivid memory, or I have a vivid understanding of what happened 2 years back. That's how we can
Okay.
use it. So
Because flashback
flashback
is a
is, yeah,
sudden memory, so we cannot use it
sudden.
with vivid because vivid means clearly.
Yeah.
So I
And
have
when
a
you clearly,
my class 11th trip. We can say like that.
yeah, yeah, you can say like that. And when you suddenly remember something, that is flashback that you didn't remembered earlier. So that is flashback. All right. So we have a hard stop over here and we're running short of time. So it was great interacting with you. And I've already shared my feedback. And these are just very few things that we need to work on and be a better version of ourselves. You're already doing great. So just few things we need to work on. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.